This video is about functional group chemistry. So the keyword in the question is we need to outline a method that distinguishes between propane and propene. We also need to state the observations. So the concept of this question is how to distinguish between propane and propene. So let's say we have two beakers of two unknown solutions, and it can either be propane or propene. And both of these solutions are colorless. So how we distinguish between propane and propene is we need to add bromine into each of the beaker. And bromine has a color of orange. So once we add bromine to the first beaker, the first one will turn orange. But if we add bromine to the second beaker, initially the solution becomes orange, but it will eventually turn colorless. So from this observation, we know that the first beaker holds propane, whereas the second beaker holds propene. This happens because propane, let's draw out its Lewis structure. So we would have something looking like this. And we can see from the diagram that all of the bonds are single bonds. So it's an alkane. So it can only react with bromine undergoing substitution. And the condition is there needs to be a presence of UV, because UV will able to split the bromine homolytically into bromine free radical, and only then it can react with propane. So if we were to look at the result of the solution, bromine is orange and it turns the solution orange, meaning there is no reaction occurring. So moving on to propene, we can also draw out its Lewis structure so we can visualize it. And it will look something like this. And so we can see the double bond allow these molecules to undergo addition to react with bromine. And this happens spontaneously. So if it were to react with bromine, we would have an haloalkane. And a haloalkane is also colorless. So that makes sense in our observation, because once bromine is added, obviously it turns the solution orange, but slowly becomes colorless as the propene undergo reaction with bromine to become haloalkane. So in our answer, here are a couple of key points that you would need to include in your final answer. So first, you need to state that the environment at which the experiment occurs is without sunlight. And the next step is to add bromine into both of the solution. And so how we determine propane is that solution will turn orange. And how we determine propene is that initially the solution will become orange, but it will eventually turn colorless.